Boys, Ryjack back with another live stream. Man, not gonna lie. Yesterday, it has been probably the craziest day of this entire transfer window for City. I mean, I cannot remember having this many just boom, 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 back to back stories of news links, like crazy stories of, clubs betraying their player. It's so weird, guys. But I'm very excited to run everything back, do a little discussion, talk about Wolves at the weekend, of course, because I have no idea who's starting that game. I got no clue. So would love to know everybody's thoughts in the chat for the Wolves game. But before we start, anybody who's new, I appreciate the sub, of course. We are very close to 400, which is the goal. We also have a Discord. If you're interested, you can check that in the channel description, as well as all my socials, links, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. So let's pull it up. All things football. Welcome to the chat. My guy, my OG, he says, it's been going crazy. Apparently, Ederson's right back out the door again, even after saying he's staying twice. Viana going on a spree. Very true, man. I mean, I was always a team, I think Ederson is leaving for the longest time, and then, those reports came out that he was staying, and I semi kind of switched, and then we just got the news maybe like 2 weeks ago that there was no more transfers to be done, so I figured, all right, I guess it's dead. Ederson's going to stay. We're going to have Ederson as a starter, and Trafford as the backup for the year. Ederson goes on a free, and Trafford is our new number one. Kind of how I thought it would go. Apparently that's not happening. Not the case whatsoever. So I think it's probably best if I pull up the City Extra feed just of all the tweets that have happened over the last, 30 hours or so. We have Jack Grealish going to Everton. Obviously, that's done. He's gone. Sad, but is what it is. Not a big deal, in my opinion. 50 million euro or pound fee optionally at the end of this loan. There's just zero chance that gets activated by Everton. He'll have 1 year left on the contract. Why would they spend that much money? Hopefully he does well, though, and we can get a nice fee for him next summer. Then right here, Man City have a serious interest in Rodrygo and have started contacts to understand the situation, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. This obviously comes after the Savinho news where it looks like Savinho's going to Spurs. Again, really caught me off guard, that one. I mean, I had heard maybe, what's today? Tuesday, I heard maybe on Sunday that Savinho to Spurs was like a thing out there. But I didn't really believe it. Now I guess it does seem accurate. It seems like Savinho is maybe leaning towards Spurs in the sense that he got left out of the Brazilian squad and he wants nothing more than to be part of the Brazil squad for the World Cup. And he feels like if he stays at City, I'm guessing he's a bit nervous about the competition on the wing. That's my personal take on it, and he's the one that initiated this move away from the club. I don't think the club would be the one initiating the move for Savinho going to Spurs. I just don't see that as the case. But Savinho wanting to leave or open to leaving, whatever you want to say, City have to replace him, obviously, and there's Rodrygo. He's on the market. Madrid are not apparently planning on using him this summer, so that's the news at the moment. You have right here, it is expected to take around £60 million for City to consider selling Savinho this summer. I would probably agree that it needs to be more than 60. I think 65 is reasonable. 70, anything above that, I would be thinking, wow, it's a pretty good deal that City have gotten. 70 plus million for Savinho. 60, I would think maybe it's a little low. 65, probably where I would say it's a good number, solid. And anything above that, I think is just crazy good business from City. We bought him for 21 million or 25 million or something. I don't know if it's pounds or euros or whatever, but we are 3-4xing our spend in 12 months. That's fantastic. So good business from City, and they do obviously need to replace him. And if we're selling Savinho for 60 and McAtee right here goes for 20 to 30, that's basically the Rodrygo money. So not that, we get Rodrygo on a free. That's not how it works. But McAtee is pure profit as he's an academy player. Savinho is good profit, not pure profit. And Rodrygo is going to be expensive, but I don't think he's going for $100 million. I'd be very surprised if City matched the Grealish fee for Rodrygo. It seems like he's, I don't want to say like ostracized from the Real Madrid squad, but it seems like he is not needed, or maybe has worn out his welcome. There was a couple of stories out there about him maybe potentially faking an injury last year. They didn't really like that. There was some stuff about Xabi doesn't see him as a fit. I don't know. It seems a bit messy, to be honest. I don't know if you guys follow LB, but he had that video where he had Maria GMC on, the original source who talked about City and Rodrygo like back in May. And she basically said that Rodrygo wants to go. He loves Pep. But the way he's gone about it, she didn't really like. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care about Madrid or if he disrespected the badge. Again, irrelevant. He's not a City player at the moment. He's not disrespecting my club, And I already despise Madrid as it is. So, give him an uppercut on the way out is kind of how I feel. I don't really care. Anyway, we continue with the news, just scrolling up a bit to get it to more recency. This is now this morning, 15 hours ago. City told Spurs, we don't want to sell in regard the matter is closed. I think this most likely not accurate. Jack Pitt-Brook, you got 86K, but I feel like this is fake news, my guy. Because I think Spurs and Savinho is 100% happening. Like I said, I think Savinho to Spurs is happening because Savinho maybe sees the opportunity to play, and City see the opportunity to make profit on a player and bring in a better player, which is what a ruthless club needs to do. They need to continually try and improve the squad. That's just how it works. Just left LB's stream literally just now. Nice. Yeah, LB's got great streams going. One day I'll get on LB's channel. That'll be a great day once he gets me on there, which apparently he's open to when we talk. So we'll see. Whenever he does some like American thing, maybe he'll have me on. That'd be cool. And then like I said, Rodrygo is not expected to be a key player under Xabi, with Premier League clubs interested. Now, I've only seen Liverpool, Arsenal, and City, but all the news today and yesterday has been about Man City and how he loves Pep and how he loves Manchester City. And there's been nothing on Arsenal. There's been nothing on Liverpool. Liverpool are obviously focused on Isak, and I don't know what Arsenal are doing. Maybe Arsenal just don't want to pay the money that it takes to get these big players. I don't know. I don't know why Arsenal would not have gotten this one done already. Maybe just didn't want to go there. Side note, Wrexham getting Callum Doyle possibly. Pretty cool. Now, this is funny actually. James Trafford and what he can learn from Ederson. Blah, blah, blah. I try to take things from a game, implement them. But anyway, that seems like he ain't going to learn anything from Ederson because Ederson's probably out the door. This is interesting as well. I don't really look too far into the future. I just approach every day, try to get better. And that's what I've done throughout my career. It's got me here, so that's what I'm going to keep doing. So it does sound like he's not super interested in the long term, and he's just trying to, prove himself every day. And maybe Donnarumma, Trafford just backs himself to get the number one spot. I don't think Trafford joins the club under any impression that he's the number one keeper based on the news from weeks ago about Ederson staying, because the news has been Ederson is going to be the keeper and the number one. Trafford will be the backup. So it seems like, to me at least, Trafford understood, at least for this year, he was the backup keeper. Now, you can't really fault, I guess, some people are a bit, they feel for Trafford. I guess I feel for him. It is what it is, but he's a grown adult. Like, he's a professional footballer making millions of dollars, I don't want to say I don't feel for him, but like, he'll be okay. He's not going to be stuck as the backup for 6 years. You know what I mean? He'll be all right. He'll get game time. And if he deserves to start, he'll start. That's how it's going to go. Hussein says, I am so excited. Ederson and Savinho, bye-bye. Yeah, looks like it, man. I'm also very excited as well. We continue with the news, and this morning, again, Gianluigi Donnarumma, in case Ederson leaves the club. City obviously monitoring. Negotiations are ongoing with the goalkeeper side. Personal terms will not be the issue, as the player is keen on the move. I don't know, man, because from what I understand, Donnarumma wanted more money from PSG, and PSG didn't want to pay that, and I feel like Ederson was already on low wages as is, so the personal terms are a bit. I'm curious to know what he's going to be on when he comes to City. If it's like, man, I don't know. If he's on like 300 a week, I'd be shocked to be like, wow, that is quite expensive for a goalie, going from Ederson to 300, Ederson 90 to Donnarumma on 300, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It is what it is. It's not my money. I don't really care who's on what wages. Haaland can be on $1 million a week. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to watch City play football, and I want to watch us win. That's how I operate as a fan, at least. Hussein says, hopefully Trafford gets game time. We should rotate both of them. I totally agree. I think we will certainly be rotating them heavily. Maybe I shouldn't say heavily, because Donnarumma's not coming to be a backup, you know? Donnarumma's going to want to be the number one guy. And I think he'll start the majority of the games. Maybe cup competitions like the easy Champions League games, or maybe I shouldn't say easy, but the lower tier Champions League games will get Trafford starts. The cup games, Trafford will start. Hopefully we go far in the cups this year. That would be fantastic, obviously. So if you think about Ortega as well, Ortega played a ton of games last year. Like, he did. Like, Ederson was always injured from time to time, so maybe that's a part of it. And I don't know Donnarumma's injury record, but the one really surprising thing to me, guys, Donnarumma's only 26 years old. I feel like he's been around forever. He's only 26. I thought he would have been like 31 at this point, but he's not. He's still young. He could be our keeper for 6 years. Easy. And if he's the best keeper for City and he's winning games for us, then sorry, Trafford, like, we got the guy who's winning titles, winning Champions Leagues for PSG. It is what it is. All Things Football says I have to change my profile picture. Sad day, sad day. But yes, it does look like you'll have to do that. Savinho wasn't bad in his first season at City. He had the most assists for City last season, but his end product is horrendous. That is facts. That is facts. His end product is horrendous. Even in the Palermo game, I was moaning about he had a one-on-one with the keeper and puts it wide. You got to score that. Maybe City know Rodrygo is a finisher of the ball. He's got that ability that Savinho does not have. Savinho's got pace. He's got dribbling ability. He's got, good passing ability. He doesn't really have a right foot, but he can cross it on his left foot. Shooting, not his thing. Rodrygo has that, in my opinion, and he has the other things as well. So I go with Rodrygo as the better player. How much does he want? I think 150 to 170 would be fair. For Donnarumma, I'm going to say it's probably over 200 as a guess. I don't know that for a fact, but that's my guess. Anthony's Planet, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, bro? He says, how about Rodrygo coming to us? Well, it's not quite done just yet. Not official, but it does look likely, I guess. I mean, he didn't start today in Real Madrid's friendly against whoever the heck they played, that nobody team, but came off the bench and did score. Great finish, by the way. None of our wingers probably have that in them. He's kind of on the byline and bends it around the keeper, low, driven into the corner. It was a really nice finish from Rodrygo. Didn't really celebrate as well. Just if we're looking for any and every sign, he did not really celebrate anything in particular. So thought that was notable, at least. Hopefully just got to pray. Anthony really wants Rodrygo, guys. Really wants Rodrygo. The news continues to pop throughout the day, because obviously Donnarumma's not coming here if Ederson stays. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Galatasaray have now made a direct approach to City for Ederson. Talks ongoing. This is key, direct approach, because for weeks we've seen Galatasaray have agreed terms. Galatasaray want Ederson. They love Ederson. Ederson would be great for Galatasaray, blah, blah, blah. But there's always been, the clubs have not spoken. So now a direct approach, I guess, means Galatasaray have sent the email over to Hugo Viana and said, this is what we're going to do, blah, 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 whatever. And from what I understand, I don't know if City Extra tweeted it, but they said there was a £7 million transfer fee submitted to City, and City want 13, so they want to double it, which it sounds like they want to double their initial first bid, but 7 to 13. Surely we meet somewhere in the middle and we go with 10. So whatever. It is what it is. You only got a year left. We're obviously not going to get big money for Ederson. He's 31 or whatever. So 10 is fine. I don't care. Just get the deal over the line. And if you want Donnarumma and you think he's the best keeper in the world or the best keeper for City, then I back it. It is fine with me. Play Ederson right back. I mean, you could keep Ederson and convert him to a midfield player. I haven't seen anybody suggest that yet, but not a bad idea. City have started discussions with Donnarumma, appreciated by Pep. An agreement will not be a problem, blah, blah, blah. PSG will only be made available if Ederson leaves. PSG are not greedy, whatever. Yeah, again, that's how I felt this morning going over everything. We get a miniature Claudio Echeverri thing about Girona, and he wants to go to Roma. Don't care. Irrelevant at that point today. All that matters is the Rodrygo and Donnarumma talk for sure. And we continue. I'm almost out of breath, guys. I'm just reading so much of this news throughout the day. City sources are adamant they do not want to lose Savinho and only bring in another attacker if he makes it clear to Pep and he wants to leave. I do think that all of these tweets about Savinho, maybe not. City definitely think Rodrygo is better and are fine if Savinho leaves and they get Rodrygo. I think that is like easily a thing. I don't believe any of these. They don't want Savinho to leave, blah, 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 because they know if he's leaving, they're getting Rodrygo and he's better. So, all good. We see Everton have signed officially Grealish on loan. You see him in the Everton kit. It is kind of a crazy sign. I can't lie. Really like and appreciate Jack Grealish for his contributions at the club. But am I shocked? No. Am I sad? Not really. It is what it is. He was not helping the team enough anymore. We saw something about Adam Wharton a bit. I don't think, obviously, that is a this summer thing. That's maybe a next summer thing. I will love Donnarumma at City, says Zach. Zach, my guy. I hope for sure Donnarumma just cooks at City. It'd be so interesting just watching the difference in like how we feel confident when other teams are attacking versus we know Ederson's conceding the first shot on target. Yes, Ederson's great distribution, and I think you take that, the positive he brings with the negative he brings. I think City take that. But now we're flipping it because Donnarumma is not going to play out from the back at all, and he's going to save everything in his area. So I don't know. It's interesting, and it'll be fun to watch for sure. Anthony says we have the money, but they don't want to spend it. I'm assuming you mean on Wharton. Yeah, I would be pretty surprised if we got Adam Wharton. Any sort of news there, I guess. But, man, Adam Wharton, what a player. What a player Adam Wharton is, by the way, guys. In the Community Shield, he was fantastic. I think I've decided I would really like Adam Wharton eventually at City. Wouldn't be surprised if links to someone like Tino or someone fires back up. Transfers are on fire right now. Facts. He's going to have Arsenal fans angry. Wait till the Arsenal fans see where I predicted them this season. 4th and Arteta sacked. That was my prediction in my predictions video from yesterday. Anyway, more news about City and Donnarumma. Galatasaray pushing for Ederson, blah, blah, blah. Ruben Diaz, the Instagram model. Bernardo had some quotes about being a bad loser, which, again, people are like, oh, I love it, my captain, this guy. Blah, blah, blah. And then it got even weirder, guys. Got even weirder. Hopefully we get Donnarumma. He's Liverpool's worst nightmare. Facts. That is very true. Kurt says, big up, bro. Welcome, Kurt. Hope you're good. My guy, Kurt. Donnarumma basically, there was quotes from, I think it was Luis Enrique, talking about how we want to move on from Donnarumma. We decided he's not good enough for us or whatever. It was very strange. And then Donnarumma has this big statement. Donnarumma's agent has a big statement. I don't know, man. Like, super strange stuff about what's going on here. You see Erling Haaland likes to post about blah, 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 how he's basically leaving the club. And anybody who's doubting that this is happening, I mean, it couldn't be more clear that at the minimum, Donnarumma is leaving PSG. Whether or not he actually goes to City, maybe not. But, I mean, he's definitely leaving PSG, and City are the only one in contention that I've seen. United pulled out of the race, obviously, because we have more pull than they do. Nobody wants to join United when they could join City. That's how it is. Arteta won't get sacked if Arsenal get Champions League because that's all their owners care about. Maybe so. I did say fourth, so I guess that would be Champions League. But back to back, like just disappointing seasons, I think maybe it pushes them over the edge and they sack him. Kurt also says, I kind of look like Liam Payne. Kurt said this the other day on one of my videos, and I asked my wife, and she said, Kurt, you're insane. I don't look like Liam Payne. She actually said, Liam Payne is very attractive, and you don't look like him. That's what she told me, word for word. And I was like, wow, that's nice. Thanks, honey. And then she was like, oh, no, it's okay. You're attractive. But anyway, apparently, according to my wife, I don't look like Liam Payne, but Kurt thinks I do. I always found it weird when Ederson said he was staying. The Lynx refused to go away. Thought something was up. Correct. Definitely correct. We always guessed that something was going on. Did Enrique and Donnarumma fall out? I don't know if there was a specific, like, João Cancelo versus Pep ball throwing situation, but it does seem like Enrique was not a fan of Donnarumma anymore. I don't know why. The agent said it was all about money for PSG, but I don't know how it's all about money for PSG when Donnarumma is the one asking for more money in the contract. So I don't know. Kind of not sure. Maybe we'll see more news on that in the coming days, potentially. We see Forest have an agreement for James McAtee. Again, end of the week type thing, irrelevant. He was never making it at City. Maybe there'll be a buyback for McAtee, but I don't. It doesn't matter to me. He will not make it in the way Cole Palmer has made it, in my opinion. Again, transfer news continues to pop off. City have rejected a €25 million bid from Forest for Rico Lewis. I kind of find this hard to believe. I don't know why they would be. Maybe it's real. I don't know. But Foot Mercato, from what I understand, is kind of a sus source. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. I would be thinking if we want to sell Rico Lewis, it's probably going to have to be 40 plus, maybe 50 plus. Because I guess if we're asking 40 plus for McAtee, we want 50 plus for Rico Lewis. He's obviously done more at City. So I don't know. 25 plus 5 is just way too low for Rico Lewis, and I don't really think he's for sale. I think he's got every chance to be our starting right back going forward. PSG have Lucas Chevalier. Now correct. Another one that many City fans in my DMs and in my comments have said we should have gone for, but I think maybe he wanted PSG only, and that was where he was going to go. Don't believe the Rico Lewis one. I kind of don't either. It just seems weird. Just seems weird, especially today of all days that this news would drop. It seems like they're just using the City transfer news talk to put this out. I don't know. Seems fake to me. Anyway, Donnarumma reached an agreement with Pep over a contract and has spoken with him. Blah blah blah. PSG will ask for a fee lower than Chevalier's 40 million euros, which is great. I mean, I would have thought it'd be 50 plus million for Donnarumma, but I guess not. I mean, we're looking at maybe 30. So we'll spend 50 between Trafford and Donnarumma. I mean, that's pretty good for a whole new goalkeeping room plus Bettinelli on like basically a free or whatever we got him on. Pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. The way City been moving the past couple of days, don't be surprised if City gets a right back. I mean, it's possible, guys. It's possible, but I can't imagine we go back in for Livramento and Newcastle are like, yeah, we're going to lose Isak in the next couple of days. We'll also sell Livramento, you know? Just seems like they're going to do whatever they can to keep the other players happy and just give Livramento a contract extension or pay rise or whatever. I don't know. Do you think we would have had to cough up 10 million more for Costa? I know Costa's another one that's crazy. They wanted 60 and we're getting 2 for less than the 60. That's nuts. This is the Enzo Raiola, agent of Donnarumma. We'll consider solutions now, maybe Premier League, blah, blah, blah. PSG asking for big money. They talk about respect, but it's only about money. That's what I was talking about earlier. I don't really understand what he means. I guess he means like in the purchase option from the club, but I don't know. It seems like they don't want him anymore, so that obviously drives the price down. Maybe this agent's just pissed. I don't know. Could be something interesting. Some people saying Donnarumma isn't good with his feet, or is it Alisson, and he's one of the best goalies in the world? That is correct. I've always not really rated Alisson's, ability with his feet, and obviously he's a fantastic keeper, so I'm not super worried about it, to be honest. I'm calm. PSG played out the back, and they had Donnarumma last year. PSG, if you guys watched them like I watched them, unless I'm missing something, they played beautiful, free-flowing football, and they just looked amazing every time I watched them. And Donnarumma was their keeper, so obviously it can be done. And, Enrique is like a Pep disciple, essentially, So, I don't know. The people that are saying, oh, Donnarumma can't play with his feet, he's not a Pep player. Like, Pep is the one who got this guy in. It says he spoke with Pep. Pep is going to know if he can play with his feet or not, or if he doesn't fit the system. Pep's going to know. Pep is the one who basically is convincing him to come. So I'm not worried. I think we'll be riding Newcastle failing to secure UCL next season, and then we'll come back in for Livramento. Viana rates him so highly. Could do. If Newcastle keep Isak, I think it'll be a stretch for them to miss top 5 because they got a good squad. Like, they don't really have the depth, I guess, but Newcastle have a great starting 11. One of the 5 best 11s for sure in the league, in my opinion. You got Isak, Gordon, Elanga, really good midfield, Tonali, Joelinton, Bruno G. You got Livramento, Lewis Hall. Center backs are maybe a little bit sus, and Ramsdale, but I don't know. I think Newcastle should be competing for that Champions League spot for sure. Will James Trafford and Donnarumma both play half the games for City this season? I don't think so, to be honest, Kurt. I think if this deal does go through, I think you're looking at like Donnarumma playing, I don't know, how many games are there? 60? He'll play like 30 of the Prem games and 15 of the Cup, like Champions League, or like 10 of the Champions League games. So like 40 to 20. So that's, I don't know what percentage that is. 2/3, 66%. But maybe even more than that. Maybe 70%, 70-30. That's what I would initially guess if I had to guess. Give Trafford the Cup games, don the UCL, and rotate in the league. That's a good way to look at it too, because, and even some of the Champions League games, you can rotate Trafford in, just because, like, if we play, let me think, like, a team from the Swedish team. What is that team? Young Boys. Like, we don't need Donnarumma to play. We don't need Rodrygo to play that game. Those are games we can rest players. Like, yes, it's the Champions League, but some of these teams are considerably poor. And we can rest players, which I don't think we do a great job of currently, and ideally we do that next year. In reality, it would be a lot more one-sided. Really, you think it'll be one-sided, like 90%? I don't know. I wonder how many games Ortega played this past year. I swear he played like 20 games or something like that. Trafford will play against Wolves. I do think Trafford will play against Wolves, and we will look at a lineup builder here in a second for Wolves, because I'm interested. To be honest, that catches us up with the news at the moment, at least. If I check notifications here, just to see if there's anything else. No, nothing else. So it'll be a good experiment here to look at the lineup for Wolves, because it is a bit confusing. I'm not going to lie. Like, I really don't know exactly what you're going to do. It feels like you can't play Ederson. Like, you just can't. the guy's already agreed personal terms with Galatasaray. Like, I don't think Ederson should be allowed to play this game. Like, I'm sorry, you got your nice send-off against Palermo where you charged a man and almost got a red card. You absolute psycho. We'll be favoring Donnarumma. I don't know about 90%. Yeah, I think between 75 and 70% maybe, and somewhere in that range. I think we can all agree. Trafford starts against Wolves on Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, I will be doing a live watch-along for the game. So do come by the channel, hang out, watch it. Watch me go crazy for the goals. Hopefully we get a Holland, 5-goal, easy dub, something like that. The backline's interesting, guys. I immediately don't know what to do. I think Nori will start at left back. I'll probably want to specifically just, really bad because it is against Wolves, his former club. Who's Liverpool's starting goalie? They got Mamadashvili. Mamadashvili. I think it'll probably be Alisson for a while now. And Mamadashvili or whatever, however you say that. Mamarshvili will just get the cup games, kind of like Trafford. And then Alisson will go next year, maybe. And then it's Gregorio or whatever his name is. Center back pairing is interesting, guys. I am a bit in two minds because I feel like if we're going to be buying Donnarumma, the back line needs to be as technical as possible so they can kind of play out the back without utilizing the goalie quite as much. So players like John Stones, their stock goes up for me. And even maybe it's just a thing that we do where we just ham out John Stones as much as we can because he's going to get injured no matter what we do anyway. So I don't know. Maybe we just play Stones as long as we can until he gets an injury, and then it just is what it is with him. I would be starting John Stones, though, because I think he's our best center back when available. Obviously, just available 30% of the time. Ederson might be gone by Saturday. That's true as well. He could be gone by Saturday. I don't know, man. I hope Henderson enjoys the Conference League. It's unjust, but I've got it out for that guy. Nice. The only thing worries me about Ruben Diaz. He is slow. That's true. That is true, and Wolves probably will be a counter-attacking team against us. You're looking at the guys like Strand Larson. Who's their other winger? You got Huang Hee-chan, who's obviously pacey. So, I don't know if Diaz starts the game. I think the other option was Kusanov. Kusanov and Stones could be a good partnership. You could go Stones-Diaz. Akanji obviously is available as an option. Nathan Ake is an option. Nathan Ake did not look super pacey in the Palermo game, personally to me at least. So I think just on the basis of overall quality, I think you get a Ruben Diaz, John Stones partnership for this Wolves game. I think. I could be wrong, but I think. Josko or Kusanov got to play. We need the pace. You think? I'm only not putting Gvardiol because I'm a little uncertain if he's injured or not. Yeah, is Josko injured? I don't know if he's injured, but I don't know that he's fully fit either. We might hear more about that for the pre-match press conference thing that Pep does on Friday, probably. So I don't know if people have seen pictures from training, but as far as I know, I am uncertain if Josko is available or not. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go Diaz, Stones, Aït-Nouri, and then it's another tough one. The whole lineup is tough, guys, to be honest. I'm going to go Rico Lewis because, in my opinion, he was better. He was the better of the right backs that played against Palermo. I thought he was really good. He was all up in the midfield here. Very attack-minded, and he didn't have to do much defending, but, I thought he was really good. He was one of the better players in the first half when he played. So I'm going to go Rico Lewis, even though I think him and Nunez will probably lean more Nunez over the course of the season. In the midfield, Got a lot of options, obviously. No Rodri, probably to start. But he may be available to come off the bench. I don't know, though. It's a really tough one. No Kovacic as well. I can't imagine we see a partnership of Gundo and Bernardo again. I feel like Pep has probably realized that's not the move. One player that, excuse me, without a doubt is starting is Tijani Reinders. I'm obviously the guy was man of the match, best player in the game against Palermo. He has to start. Was incredible. Think you have. It's tough, man. I think it's going to be Nico Gonzalez. Even though I think Pep doesn't really rate the guy, I think he's a better 6 than Reinders is going to be. I think it'll be like that. And then the other attacking midfielder, I think you go with Ryan Cherky. Because dude was fantastic against Palermo. Looked lively. Looked like he could find any ball on the pitch. He made an incredible ball to Marmoush that Marmoush was just a couple of feet away from. So I think that's what I do. If you guys have disagreements or anything, put it in the chat. Let me know. Thoughts on some people saying Pep ruined Grealish and now he will ball out at Everton? I disagree. I don't think Pep ruined Jack Grealish. I just think Grealish wasn't performing. Like, I don't know. People always say he had this free roll and whatnot at Villa, but like he basically got the same G&A at Villa that he did at City. So I don't know. Like, he's not really fast. He draws a lot of fouls. He doesn't really score. I don't know what else people want from Jack Grealish. Like, was he ever a £100 million player? No, but that was the release clause, and City wanted him. So I don't buy the Pep ruins players thing, especially wingers, because we had Riyad Mahrez cooking for us under Pep. We had Leroy Sané cooking. Raheem Sterling was at his best under Pep. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that's a load of nonsense. People just hate Pep. Yeah. Pep ruining players thing is just stupid. Players like Palmer admitted they learned everything from him. Yeah, I'm with you guys. That's how I feel as well. Now, I think if we're looking at the front line, the striker's pretty obvious. It's going to be Erling Haaland. On the wing, you got options. I feel like Savinho is out on starting. That's not happening. If he's going to go to Spurs, we're going to see some movement on that over the next couple days. And he's not going to be starting this game. He might not even be part of the squad anymore at the time of the game. So you really have Doku, Marmoush, Foden, Bob. Those are like the basic options. Is Foden back and available? I don't know. He had personal reasons. So I don't know. I think if Foden is back and available, we'd probably go Foden on the right. And he and like Cherokee can kind of interchange from time to time. And then if you're going to choose between Marmoush and Doku, for me, you go with Marmoush because he's just better. He just is better than Doku is. Grealish only scored 10 goals in the championship. That's poor for Villa. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's just not really a guy that scored a lot of goals. I want to see Mukasa get his Premier League debut at some point this season. Thought he was okay against Palermo. Thought it was good, solid. He got the assist. Very nice layoff. Was impressed with Mukasa for sure. Would probably need some injuries to happen because I think you can only name a bench of 7. Is that right? So we'd have 18 players, and like we took 22 to that Palermo game. So I don't know. Maybe the bench. Maybe you should be able to do more on the bench, to be honest, than what the Premier League allows. I don't know why you can only have like 7 or whatever it is. Got an assist, even though the whole team was playing keep away. Yeah, for sure. So I think this is what I would do for the Wolves game at the time of, with the knowledge I have now. Maybe, got my dog over here going crazy. Maybe, I think it's a stretch to say Rodrygo would be signed and available by Saturday. That would be pretty crazy. I don't think that happens. And it's possible that you can get Oscar Bob as well here. Maybe we take out Cherokee and put in like a Gundogan for a bit more experience, or like Bernardo for a bit more experience, and Reinders is like the guy that's the most forward attacker of the three. That's always possible. But I want to see the new signings. It's Wolves. We should be able to beat Wolves. They're one of the worst teams in the league, in my opinion, this year. They lost so many players. I'm feeling it. I don't know about Nico G. I thought he was good, but Pep doesn't rate the guy. It's a good point. The only reason I put Nico G in there is I don't want Reinders to be the most deep of the midfielders, unfortunately. That's why I put Nico in there, because I like Reinders crashing into the box. I mean, you could do this and then put Bernardo here or Gundo, but like it doesn't really fill me with excitement per se. I guess you could put what would be kind of a crazy lineup would be like this. Foden and Cherokee both in this 10. Reinders deep and Oscar Bob out on the right. Not Nico, obviously. Oscar Bob would be out here. But at the moment, I think it's probably this. Reinders isn't a DM. Correct. He's much better as like a 8 than a 6, I think. Because he's just got goal threat. He's got goal capabilities. Rodrygo's first game could be against Brighton. Well, let's take a look at our schedule here. It's a good point. We should look at that. Fixtures. Oh, move myself away. All right, so first 3 games we have, and then we have an international break, which sucks. I hate the international break, but it is what it is. Wolves. Then in a week, we have Spurs, and in a week after that, we have Brighton. Dang, I would hope that we have Rodrygo for Spurs. I would hope. Hope the deal progresses quickly, and we have all our business done for the Spurs game. Maybe he makes the bench appearance, but not a start. And he starts the Brighton game. Who knows? Who knows? But leaving it that late would be unfortunate. Anyway, I do think the international break is going to be a mental torture. Bro, you're telling me the international break is the worst. Especially because this season just started, and then we got to wait for a time. And then there's another one in October, I think. So it is annoying. I will say, we have a difficult start to the season. Wolves should be all right, but Spurs are going to be improved. Brighton are obviously good. United will be improved. Arsenal obviously are a good side. Should be fine with Burnley and Brentford. But man, it's some tough games. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, boys. That's how it goes. Arsenal, United, Brighton, Spurs, all top half of the table. Capable teams, I would say. I know United finished like 17th last year, but I would expect them to be around that mid-table this year. So obviously some improvement there. Anyway, that's it for tonight's live stream, I think. It has been a good one, 45 minutes or so. I appreciate you guys watching. Of course, leave a like, sub if you're new. And if you're interested, check out the Discord as well. We've got, 15, 20 people in there or so at the moment that we just chop it up about Man City, of course, and anything else you guys want to talk about. I do appreciate it. All my social links are in my bio description. And some other personal news. Tomorrow night, I will be on Martin from the Mancunian Ways channel. He's got an episode coming out called Stateside Blues, and I will be on the panel. So if you're interested in the Mancunian Way or Martin's channel or anything, you also like me, I will be there tomorrow. Starts at 6 o'clock Eastern time, and I think that's 11 p.m. for UK, local you guys time. So check it out if you're interested. I'll be there. Anthony says, I hate that I start high school tomorrow, the day of the Super Cup final. Brutal, my guy. You got to watch that on your phone. Got to watch it on your phone at school. For sure. It is 3 o'clock, though, so maybe you get out of school by then. Saeed crying. Always love it when the rivals are crying. That means we're doing something right, boys. If guys like Saeed or Don Hussein or whoever are crying, we're doing well. We're doing a good job. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. 45 minutes is a good shift. I do appreciate it. I will be live tomorrow on Martin.